Hey, Armin. Telling Zephyr. I'm gonna tell Zephyr he needs to work on his chests. Didn't you post a lollipic today? Installed. Process of Elimination. Alright, let's do it, guys. Let's kick this shit off. No system data. Creating new data. He ran away. Yeah. Armin ran away. I'm eliminating option A and D. Frozen? We're gonna choose C, remember? C is the pro strat. Speed. Play voices to the end. Stop FF after choices. I wonder what that is. Skip under the text off. Okay. Backlog, next page, play voice. Okay. I feel like this is, I don't know if this has English voice acting. I hope it does, but if it doesn't, it's okay. It's a rainy day in June with clouds covering the entire nation. The live broadcast of a new gaming release is suddenly disrupted. That answers my question, doesn't it? Pardon me, but I'm conducting a quick survey. On one side, a recent grad. On the other, a total shut-in. Do you despise more? I was just about to say, is this Zero Jr.? Who do you despise more? The shut-in, obviously. Why would I despise a recent grad? That's commendable. Scythe is on the left, I noticed that. Thank you for your response. Now, without any further ado, this loathsome shut-in shall disappear before your very eyes. This individual is hereby condemned to the fate of a quartered doll. Hello, dear consumers, and adieu to the consumed. How did it feel dismembering the reviled with the simple press of a button? Quite good, no? Downright refreshing, even. It's best to eliminate those who don't share your values. Majority rules, after all. Whatever bloke thought that up was truly a sadistic genius. The opposition may be trampled, but there exists no better system. The path to peace must be painted by the blood of the minority. Can't believe I was sacrificed. Those behind this policy, the eminent among the many, give less thought to the few than they would an ant. I must hand it to them. It's simply ruthless. Oh, don't look at me like that. It was a joke. A joke. I wouldn't want to get cancelled on social media over this. Ah, goodness. This won't do. No, no, no. I've neglected to introduce myself. So sorry. I am His Grace, or is it Your Grace? Let's say Your Grace, the quartering Duke, an entertainer come to bring amusement to your worlds. From now on, every soul in this nation will be provided with entertainment to stir the mind, so please indulge until you're full to bursting. Should you object to Your Grace's choice of recreation, you are invited to try and reveal his true nature. Such a show can't exist without diversity, you see, for this is a clash between tragic, savage carnage and the comical, cultural stylings of justice. Oh, we currently have about 5,000 viewers. Lisa, thanks for the 12 months. Appreciate it. And you got your wine glass.
Happy New Year, sub.
I appreciate it, Lisa. Then, for tonight's final act, a question from Your Grace to all our viewers at home. The individual within the animal suit terrorized his middle school class as the lead bully. But his teachers, whom he sucked up to, favored him. He went places without atoning, using his father's connections to get a job at a major bank. On Saturday, way ahead of you. This individual was saved by your first impression. Oh, that's not... With that, I ask, do you still like him? Should over half the viewers say so, I'll release him. I hate him. Seems not even 500 people liked him. A shame, nothing short of a tragedy. Truly, the sorrow is too much to bear. However, the quartering Duke snaps his fingers. That is what makes this the very finest entertainment. Alas, it will soon be time to part ways. As for myself, your Duke, that is, I am the enemy of those who mindlessly consume, and a friend of those consumed. Thus, I take my leave. Do enjoy the show. Video cuts off at 4 minutes 52 seconds. As a hacked broadcast, those who ran the website were powerless to stop it. The video, just shy of 5 minutes, is shared across the net, mostly among the youth. Is that what it said? But things don't end with that. Not just the broadcasted victims, but others killed in the same manner are soon discovered. The common thread, at least 2 victims are always found at once, with their lock screens set to the symbol of the quartering Duke. The police pour all their resources into investigating the case, but turn up nothing. Pair by pair, more and more bodies surface until half a year later, over 100 have been killed since the first broadcast. The sheer number of victims and brutality of the murders fling society into chaos. Quartering Duke, entertainer? What's he do? What he's doing is basically a snuff show. He has the Danganronpa hair. I grip my phone tight as I read articles about the murders, speaking aloud despite myself. I've seen the effects of this Duke all around me. People are terrified to go outside, and stores have even shortened their hours. What's worse, he's gained some traction among young copycats taken by his charisma. With the police overwhelmed, small private agencies like mine are in huge demand. Apparently, even the FBI is getting involved. Past events had already stoked the need for this line of work, but the Duke has only made things worse. The media jeers at the detective craze. Mr. Gunjoji says the ideal society is a peaceful one, where detectives are starved for work. He may be right about that. As I lay in wait for my mark, I recall my mentor's words and sigh to myself. I work for the Gunjoji Detective Agency, it's a weird one to say, It's probably one of the premier agencies around, though. Nowadays, we're buzzing with activity. I'm a student working part-time, but they plan to recruit me once I've graduated. The situation must be getting pretty serious nationwide. Ideal society has no use for detectives, huh? The thought alone makes me a bit miserable. Is this the reality faced by all aspiring detectives? Okay, that's enough of that. My worries run wild when I'm on my own. It's a bad habit, but I've got to focus on work. There he is. My mark is on him. After a moment's pause, the man clad in a trench coat starts off down the road again. I make sure I'm out of earshot before calling in my report, just as my mentor had instructed. Watto here. The target is on the move. He's headed right where you predicted, Mr. Gunjoji. I'll stay on the lookout for any traps as I continue tailing him. Quieting my steps, I follow the man cautiously. He's our top suspect in the serial pet killer case, and according to Mr. Gunjoji, he may be armed. Whatever I do, I absolutely cannot allow my presence to be detected. Yeah, I'm assuming that that's the Duke, he says, because since the people were dressed up as animals. Can I help you? What? Suddenly the man is right in front of me and I reflexively take a step back. Did he notice me following him, despite the cover of darkness and my voice being out of earshot? Oh, no. I'm all good. I'm, actually running late for cram school, so I gotta go. As I try to move past him, the man blocks my path. How does he have hair that's like that? I doubt you'll make it in time if you keep matching my pace, stopping every time I do. Your expression gives everything away. -1 point. Not that you should really be that surprised. You would only stop on a completely empty street like this if you were tailing someone. That, or checking if someone's tailing you. So the very act of pausing here was a trap. Ugh, how could I make such a rookie mistake? It didn't even register with me. I have no one to blame but myself. For a fresh face, who are you? Certainly no detective or policeman, given your noisy slipshod attempt at shadowing me. No detective? Blood rushes to my face. I've poured everything into becoming a detective. His words sting worse than a slap to the face. There's no way I can just let it slide. Don't patronize me. I'm Watto Hojo, assistant at the Gunjoji Detective Agency. Oh, now that's a rookie mistake. We already know you've been snooping around here and that you have a knife. You're suspected of severe animal abuse. Now, come quietly. I'm turning you into the police. Okay, so I was wrong. The pet killer is not the Duke. This is a totally separate thing, because he says he's killing other things. I'd hoped the edge in my voice would intimidate him, but the man only lets out an exasperated sigh. Actually giving out your name, -3 points. This isn't some TV show, kid. Real detectives never reveal their true identities. I bet you can't get enough of those over-the-top crime dramas, can you? As much as I hate it, he's read me like a completely open book. The moment a detective reveals himself always seems so cool on television, but he's right. Sharing your identity in this line of work is far too dangerous, something to keep in mind next time. And does the detective's assistant plan to arrest me all on his own? A grown man you fully believe to be armed. The man slides his hand into his pocket and readies his stance. He's clearly holding a weapon. This isn't the first time I've gone up against someone armed with a knife, but I still feel my hair standing on end. My heart slams frantically against my ribcage as I freeze up, willing my trembling legs to remain steady. No, I know I'm not ready for that, so instead I call for backup. I just need to buy time until my boss arrives. You think you can buy yourself time, Mr. Wannabe Detective? I will. In fact, I have to. One of the pets you killed belonged to a classmate of mine. She's still terrified and traumatized as a result of your prowling about. Being a detective, it's my duty to stop you. Bringing you to justice is the only way to restore the peace in her life. I'll be damned if I let you escape. I tear off my jacket and wrap it around my left wrist to form a makeshift glove, a guard against his knife. In my dominant hand, I grip a pair of handcuffs like brass knuckles. Armed as best I can, I face off with the man. The man just watches me, showing no signs of movement. Good. He's probably never seen anyone use handcuffs for self-defense before. It's only natural he'd be wary. Learned this trick from Mr. Joji. What's great about it is that it never fails to catch people by surprise the first time. I need to stall this out, even if it's just for a little while. Keeping this face-off going is my top priority. The Ikusa School of Arrest Techniques, I take it. Quite the rare fighting style picked up, boy. Huh? I'm struck speechless. What are the odds he'd know this tactic? I fumble for an answer, but my mind goes blank. Paralyzed in the face of an enemy, -5 points. Don't expect odd techniques to phase a man of my age. It would work on your typical criminal, however, and you were quick to adapt when all odds were stacked against you. That's an exemplary quality in a detective. You get 10 points, kid. I see why the chief endorsed you. The man suddenly backs down and speaks with a smile. Wait, what? Is this another trap? Glancing my way, he continues. Sorry for the misunderstanding, but the culprit you've been looking for is the victim's neighbor. I've already handed him over to the police. No job, no comfort, no direction in life until he became obsessed with the quartering duke and decided to follow in his footsteps. He couldn't work up the nerve to hack people apart, but animals gave him no trouble at all. Disgusting. Who are you exactly? Upon hearing my question, the man pulls what looks to be a tablet out of his pocket. The screen shows a familiar symbol and the words Detective Alliance. Detective Alliance? Can't help but yell out the name. The Detective Alliance, the very organization I revere more than anything else. That's right. I'm part of the Detective Alliance, the only government-recognized detective organization in the country. I'm sure an aspiring detective like yourself has heard of it. Of course! It's a mysterious coalition of 100 renowned detectives that always sends the perfect match for the job. The Alliance has solved every case it's ever had, and each of its members has an alias based on their defining traits. Looks like you know quite a bit about this mysterious coalition, Detective Fanboy. As I calm down, my face begins to burn bright red. I had let my excitement carry me away on a total nerdy rant. Still, the Detective Alliance has been the dream I've aspired to ever since I learned about it from Mr. Gujoji. That D-pad you're holding is a hallmark of none other than the Alliance itself. You really are a detective, aren't you? Bingo! Some call me Senior Detective. Been in the Alliance for eons. Though these days I mostly scout recruits and provide support. Still, none of the younger generation can out-investigate me, especially with cases as cold as the pet killer one. As prideful as he sounds, I can tell by his expression that he's speaking purely from well-earned experience. He has an air about him that's unlike anyone I've ever met, the kind that could only come from a member of the Detective Alliance. As secretive as it is, the Detective Alliance has grown more famous by the day thanks to the recent detective craze. Even now, the news is full of stories about the cases cracked by Detective Alliance members. When there's all the terrorist plots in the wake of the Quartering Duke incidents that they've thwarted with almost zero leads. The whole reason I joined a detective agency was to carve a path to earning a spot alongside those detectives one day. Looked up to by detectives far and wide, the Detective Alliance is the absolute paragon for those pursuing justice. I apologize for my rudeness, Senior Detective. Shouting accusations at you when I couldn't be more clueless. Don't be. I was egging you on after all. No need for the sir either. In our field, the alias itself serves as a title of respect. Though Senior Detective amicably shrugs off my apology, his unshakable calm only makes me warier of where this is going. Then, as if noticing how on edge I look, he continues to speak. I'll cut to the chase. I'm here to scout you. We plan to meet at our base of operations to discuss how to handle the Quartering Duke incidents, and we want you to attend. Huh? I respond lamely, unable to fully grasp what he's saying. You thought this was inescapable too, the mystery of the missing refunds, but it was actually Raincoat the Dry Years. I'm not gonna lie, this game could very possibly be better than Raincoat. Like, Raincoat was kind of a low bar. Like, I feel like this is gonna do something that is important to do in mystery visual novels. And that's introduce a cast of characters early on, and then over the course of the game, have them be eliminated while you try to solve mysteries. Raincoat didn't follow through on that because each chapter you just met new characters and then one of them was killed and one of them was a killer. So it was like, okay. Establishing a connection with the characters from the beginning of the game is like kind of make or break. And it's one of the reasons why Danganronpa and Zero Escape are so good. However, if they say that they're going to a island and they are going to just bond together in front of cameras, then we will have to turn the game. I'll say it again. We want you to join our investigation of the Quartering Duke case as a member of the Detective Alliance. What? The sound I make is so shrill and alien I scare even myself. I pinch my cheek to make sure this isn't just some dream. Ow! Nope, not a dream. Maybe this is Mr. Gunjoji's idea of a prank. No sign of him anywhere, so probably not. If you force us to live through Steins Gate, we can endure Inescapable too. So wait, does that mean you think Steins Gate is below Inescapable? Because I feel like we go back and forth with this. I also was wondering if that was the Eiffel Tower, Lisa.
Yes.
Which means this isn't a joke, right? Not at all. We've received direct orders from the government to put an end to the Quartering Duke's reign of terror. I'm kind of starting to get hungry. Do you guys think I should order food? I could order from somewhere and then have Kevin pick it up on his way home. That's the Tokyo Skytree. Yeah, I think based on their names, this has to be in Japan, right? Inescapable at least had funny memes. I kind of struggle to think of anything I liked in Steins Gate. Yeah, me too. I agree, Steins Gate's the fucking worst. A chosen few detectives will convene at HQ to solve this case and take down the most vile homicidal maniac of the century. My mind goes blank again, but if this is real, then my dream of coming true... Then my dream is coming true far sooner than I ever imagined. I love the constant sexual assault. It was a brilliant analysis of modern American politics. There was so much I could learn, so many accomplished detectives I could meet. Ideal detectives, like the ones I aspire to be, the kind who could have prevented the tragedy that unfolded before my eyes 10 years ago. Not the tragedy! I'm sure you have a million questions, but I want to hear what you intend first. Will you join us at the table and help stop the Quartering Duke? Give me your answer, yes or no? Get the acronym, Rosen. How can I hesitate? I state my intentions loud and clear. Not the Genshin decision. The moment I try to answer, the biggest, most evil, awful thing, also known as Tibib Mammoth, or whatever, Yeah, Rosen's gonna say the acronym, then I can say it. There it is. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Also known as Tibamamete. Yeah. And Rosen literally, like, can just recite it whenever you ask. So if you ever need the acronym, just at Rosenluck. And he'll be like, Tibamamete. Or the hidden secret of Kanai Ward, which will solve the great global mystery. That also was really triggering in Raid Code. That was extremely... what the fuck? The moment I try to answer, Senior Detective's arm hooks around my neck and begins to squeeze like a vice. It's so tight I can't breathe. I flail and kick frantically, but all I hit is the air and the ground below my feet. I feel a prick as a slender needle pierces the skin of my neck. Wait, did we just get tricked? What feels like liquid ice begins to pump through my veins. My skin turns pale, my limbs go numb, and my strength fades. My vision blurs, and as my legs start to give out, I sag against the man restraining. Would that be Ice 9? And then, as if the stars have been swept from the night sky,
simple mental arithmetic.
Everything goes black. Well, it's true that I asked. There was never actually the option to refuse. I guess we're being KO'd so that we can get carried to the secret hideout without knowing where it is. I almost expected that he was gonna say, like, haha, like, you listened to me, I'm actually the killer, teehee. Maybe he is, honestly, but no, if he knows about the detective agency, then there's no way. He also has the magic iPad. Me asking my students what they want to do. Yeah, you don't have the option to refuse. And if they do, then you're gonna choke them and stab them with a needle and give them all Ice 9 of phobia. For you see, you have a duty to attend. The Detective Elimination Project. Alright, Rosen, take notes of the terminology. Okay, that was an interesting first scene. I think this might already be better than Inescapable. Rosen is preparing for the 100 lines. I can't fucking wait for 100 line. I haven't felt this way in a long time. My consciousness drags sluggishly as if I'm trapped in thick mud, helplessly sinking deeper and deeper. I don't know, we'll need to see what phone games are like in this. How could we talk about Inescapable's strong points without mentioning Wordle? You know what's really truly the tea, though? We had to be on our best behavior during, Inescapable because one of the devs was literally in chat. Like, the lead dev was in chat for that. Yes. He actually watched our entire playthrough and was here for like every stream. I looked up the Amazon reviews and they recommend getting the battle pass before chapter 2 so you can pity your first detective by chapter 5. No, this is not a gacha game fail. Stop it. You're looking at the wrong Process of Elimination. It might have been more fun if the MC wasn't trash. Yeah, the MC... You said some harsh stuff during Inescapable. Me too.
Oh my goodness.
I said harsh things in front of a camera, Bubble Wand. Also, out of all the games we've ever played, who who is the worst protag? Is it actually Harry? Because I don't know if Harry is worse than the Steins Gate guy that I can't even remember his name. Also, hi John. What rarity is the furry character? 3-star. Fodder. Slappy. He had no redeeming qualities. Harry? Yeah, Harry was the fucking worst. But is he worse than the Steins Gate guy? Nano, you're so lucky that you weren't a stream viewer during our Steins Gate playthrough last summer. That shit was bad. Steins Gate guy crossed every possible personal boundary without asking, so... Right. He was problematic in every room.
The outcome cannot be altered.
Yeah, we had to shout you out, John, because there was someone wearing like a dog costume. Steins Gate already a year ago? Yeah. I think. Wait, am I wild for saying that? Am I wrong? Yeah, because we started Great Ace Attorney in December last year, and I'm pretty sure it was Steins Gate before that, so we were still playing Steins Gate at this time last year. Wait, no! Wait. We played Steins Gate and then Inescapable. That means it was Steins Gate, Inescapable, Ace Attorney. So yeah, we were done. I think we were done with Steins Gate at this time last year. Wonder how bad it was because I like the anime. Yeah, the pacing in the visual novel is just really bad, Nano. And also, it's a total victim of its time, unfortunately, where like in that era of visual novels, the MO wasn't necessarily to tell a good story, it was to be a harem. I think at the time it came out, it was possibly better than other games? Actually, if you're wondering why the Steins Gate visual novel is bad, just watch the clip that Fail posted. But like, full disclosure, I almost dropped Steins Gate as a game, like cold turkey, because there was one episode where he was having mental images of raping one of the characters that you've known since the beginning of the game, who's an underage girl. And I just was like, this is disgusting. Like, why did someone write this? Yeah. No, it wasn't even Mayuri, it was the girl with the pigtails. The dark age of visual novels, it was Steins Gate and Inescapable, true. Every chapter was trying to out-cancel the other. He didn't even, after that, and then the shower scene, and then the groping scene, and then the kissing scene. The fucking shower scene. That the game used, like, every opportunity possible to, like, re-show the images from them. Yeah, the game was just super problematic. Lisa, the first 6 episodes, literally nothing happens. They fucking turn on a microwave. On loop.
The outcome cannot be altered.
True. I'll skip to 7. Well, that was a guess. I don't know exactly when it started having things happen. It fooled me into thinking that, like, once stuff started happening, it was gonna be good, but it just wasn't. I stand by the only good thing about Steins Gate was Kurisu. Like, you could not pay me to reread that fucking Rynet Battle Network scene where it explained the rules of a fake card game in excruciating detail. Even when the true ending happened, it wasn't even better than a good VN. It was just meh. Your turn to die moment. Is that a your turn to die? Wait, your turn to die is on my list, Tenkai. I've heard basically nothing but good things about your turn to die. Matter of fact, we might play that after Ace Attorney 1. Wait, do you have thoughts on it, Tenkai? Without spoiling, of course. Unfortunately, we ended up with 2 voice commands from Steins Gate. Both are kind of iconic. Like, people like the Mayuri command. And also, there's the Ferris command, which... My voice acting as Ferris was honestly top-notch. I watched someone on YouTube play it, and I enjoyed it. Saw my friend streamed it years ago, and it was good. Very intriguing. Okay, cool. So that's more reason to play it. Anyways, as much as I try to shut it out, that traumatic nightmare pulls me in once again.
All systems online.
Thank you. That was really loud. In my dream, I'm running down a dark, frigid corridor, holding on tight to the hand of a girl my age. Otto, I can't run anymore. Need to go on without me. You have to escape. Yeah, he's about to get hit by a car. Who's saying, Saika? We're getting out of here together. I made a promise, didn't I? Oh, he's much younger in the dream. But my legs. The girl is beautiful, with bewitching black hair, pure white skin, and light purple eyes reminiscent of hydrangeas. I remember nothing else about her, but I'm sure that at the time she was very precious to me, and then... right before my eyes, a blade swings down and slashes her, covering her in a burst of red. Saika! Why? I clutch onto her before she can collapse and face the criminal that did this to her.
The outcome cannot be altered.
A massive, unmistakably inhuman silhouette emits a strange mechanical whir. Not Target. That is Target! Its murderous intent is nearly enough to pierce through flesh as it focuses on me. I prepare to die as no more than a child. But at that moment... Otto... The girl in my arms strains to get the words out as her voice begins to fail. I might escape if I leave her now and run, but maybe I can still save her. There's no way I could just abandon her.
Target's a target.
To live. Yeah, we're at Target, which is a target. Become the hero. We'll save everyone.
Here it comes! Thunder!
No. That's all I can remember. My memory cuts out completely, as if the next page has been torn out. However, since I'm alive, it's obvious what came after. I traded Saika's life to save my own. This was the mass kidnapping and confinement incident I was in a decade ago. The reason I became a detective. That's... A shadowy organization took 16 children and locked them in an underground prison for a month, never to be caught. Am I supposed to just live with the sacrifices that came out of that, Saika? I was too incompetent to save even one girl, but I refused to leave it there. My heart and soul demand to see it through. I will become a great detective, a hero, and one day, I'll reveal the truth behind what happened 10 years ago. Finally come to. My eyelids are so heavy, just opening them is an undertaking. That was one long dream. It was one I've had countless times before. Of that fateful day, I swore I'd become a detective. That incident remains unsolved to this day. What really happened all those years ago? As a survivor, the vague testimony I provided didn't help much. The case has gone cold for 10 years now. I've got to find the truth, to track down the villain who killed Saika, the girl I owe my life to. That's why I entered this line of work. But that aside, my whole body is aching right now. My mattress feels like a rock and smells like dust. I managed to pry my eyes open, but everything's pitch black. What's more, I can't even move. My limbs are restrained like I've been wrapped in some kind of sleeping bag. Tell me I'm trapped in here. What's going on? Mustering all my strength, I try to worm my way out. Suddenly, my vision is flooded by bright light. Huh? Whatever restrained me slackens as my own momentum forces me upright. The sight I'm met with is... forests? And that sound. Those ocean waves? Lush woodland lies before my eyes. Beneath me is an old rusty locker. Guess that's what I'd been stuffed into in just a second ago. Danganronpa 3, anyone? Ouch! My whole body's killing me. How long was I crammed inside this thing? Who even do this to me and why? When did I get here?
I don't have any faith in humanity.
What the heck is going on? My head swirls in confusion as I try to recall what happened last. That's right, I met the old man, senior detective, and then... The haziness clears as I begin to remember. I was suddenly attacked by senior detective and eventually lost consciousness. He claimed to be part of the Detective Alliance, but maybe that was just a bluff? Wait, he was lying about the part of the DA. That means the pet killer is still at large. I've got to get back ASAP. I reached to grab my smartphone, but after a frantic search, I realized that my front pockets have been emptied. As I continue searching my person, I notice an unfamiliar weight in my back pocket. It's weird. I don't normally keep stuff back there. Suspicious. I carefully pluck the foreign object out of my pocket. It's a tablet device, like an oversized smartphone, more or less. The moment I see it, though, a chill runs down my spine. No way, is this... Monopad, my beloved. I lift it up, touching the buttons out of habit, and then a notification appears. Authentication successful. We do. Wait. We have the Danganronpa here. Good morning, Wato Hojo. Seems you got your D-pad working. Hmm? Sure, you were drugged, but sakes alive, boy. Out cold for 3 days straight. -1 point. As the tablet comes to life, a familiar voice emanates from the speaker. This is Senior Detective, the agent who brought you here. We met 3 days ago, though. To you, I suppose, it'd feel like it only just happened. Wait, I was out for 3 days? So Senior Detective's the one reaching out to me. I knew I recognized his voice from before. Still, his tone is pretty nonchalant for a kidnapper. I can't help but feel irritated. Well, I'm certain you think I've deceived you. You are, in fact, the newest member of the Detective Alliance. If you doubt me, view the detective roster on your D-pad. I keep wanting to say iPad. That electronic device you know as a trademark of the Alliance. As an official member of the Alliance, your personal information should already be recorded in the database. I open up the tablet and look through the roster he mentioned. There, I find my profile, beginning with my full legal name. Wato Hojo, Detective rank number 100. Yep, that's me. It even lists details only Mr. Gunjoji would know, like my skills and work experience. Ouch. My special skill is housework? I'm no great detective, sure, but it's a low blow. I wonder what else is on here. It lists other detectives' ranks and aliases too, not to mention intel and investigation statuses on recent atrocities. From the latest incidents all the way back to before I was born, it's a robust selection of key documents about cases infamous to the public. Far too much for one person to read, frankly. Even at a glance, most of the content seems to be highly technical in nature. This is way too much effort for a prank. Meaning the DA really did recruit me? Can I trust that what the senior detective says? So I've actually been recruited by this detective alliance. This isn't a joke, right, Senior Detective Sir? You're listening to a recording at the present. An emergency came up, so I've hidden you in the woods while I go to address it. Ah, so that's how it is. I assume this was a phone call, but I guess that's not the case. The detective's settings must have been configured to play this voice message as soon as it finished authenticating. When you're ready, open the map on your D-pad, then make your way through the woods and head for the manor at the peak. Once there, you should meet the others. I promise to head over myself once I'm able, so just wait for me in front of the manor. And one last thing, do not, under any circumstances, enter the structure you'll see along the way. Unauthorized entry will result in far worse than a subtraction of points. Follow my orders like your very life depends on it. Senior Detective speaks without pause. The moment he's finished, the sound cuts out abruptly. I stand there in a daze, holding the tablet, my new D-pad, in hand. I lift my head and peer through the tree line, making out the shape of a mountain with an imposing manor resting on its summit. Is that the building Senior Detective was referring to? While I don't fully trust him, my options are limited. Pressed for choice, I open the map application on my tablet. Various graphics appear on screen displaying the surrounding area. All the blue surrounding everything must be the ocean, which means I've been taken to a remote island. Morgue. Is that the name of this place? Never heard of it. Could I be in a foreign country or something? Either way, getting all gloomy won't solve things. I use my fingers to zoom in on the map, find more info to go off. Island, you say? It can't be like that island. It'll be escapable, don't worry. Also, I'm gonna quickly go and procure another drink, so please sit tight. BRB. Okay, hi. I'm back. I am quickly gonna place an order for dinner. Before we get back to the dialogue. Hey, Diamond. Happy Saturday. We have started a new visual novel today, and so far it is very interesting, and yes, we are ordering dinner. Okay, this place has an apple pie shake, but I mustn't. It just sounds so fucking good that it's like... It's a lot. It's a lot for me to deal with. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm eating badly enough without it. I'll get one too! No, I'm already having alcohol tonight, so no shake for me. Okay, so we don't want that, we don't want that, and we don't want that. I don't like tomatoes on hamburgers, don't at me. Just pour alcohol into your shake? Oh, true. Add napkins. Add to order. I'm trying to force tomatoes in, like, other ways. But, not on hamburgers. That's like, I'm not willing to break on that one. Okay, I'm getting a salad and little chicken bites with it, too, because that's what we're doing. Okay. You eat 1 tomato per day. Ew. I like tomatoes for health benefit reasons. I'm gonna set the pickup time for 8. As Kevin's grabbing it on his way home, and we appreciate that immensely. Yeah, with Apple Pay, let's fucking do it. Guess you're having pho? It just makes the burger gross texture-wise, I agree. Okay. It's been done. Food has been ordered. Okay, guys. So, where am I ordering from? It's a local... Well, it's a chain in SoCal called Habit, and it's delicious. Yeah, now that the temperature's down, it's definitely pho weather. The weather has been perfect for, like, the last week. And it's gonna be good until next Friday. Habit is great. Yeah, I love the Habit. I get a burger and a salad and little chicken bites. So good. I can't wait to have it.
Looks good.
Okay. So wait. House Infata Morgue? Anna? Anybody? No? Yes? Either way, getting all gloomy won't solve things. I use my fingers to zoom in on the map, hoping to find more info to go off of. The screen then displays my current location and a few details about the vicinity. Whoop! 35 streak! Let's go, Diamond! We played Fire Emblem earlier, just so you know, and Jagan is dead. Bet it's Natalie's fault. Just as Senior Detective said, there seems to be some sort of manor atop the peak, plus another structure near the tree line. Without any other clues to guide me, I decide to follow Senior Detective's instructions for now. Stupid degenerate male. Oh, I need to register my detective alias on here. but I don't have any talents. And I definitely regret putting something random. Nope, I've got nothing. The tablet hums quietly as I trek on. Before long, I see a parting in the trees. A massive heliport stretches before me. To its right sits a relatively small 3-story building. Though it blocks my line of sight, I assume that the manor is just up ahead at the top of the hill. The structure here must be the one that Senior Detective warned me against entering. They forgot that they're the #1 lucky detective, the ultimate lucky detective student. It's not like I really trust the guy, so I'm admittedly a bit curious to sneak a peek inside, but as soon as the thought crosses my mind, a sudden sense of unease washes over me. On my tablet's map, I see numerous circular icons displayed within the building's walls. Oh, hello, Jam! This is our newest visual novel. Process of Elimination. Basically, so far, we are a detective who thought that we were trailing some criminal, but it was actually this old dude that's a part of like a super legit top secret detective alliance. And he then proceeded to ask us if we wanted to join, and then drugged us, stuffed us in a locker, and we woke up in a forest. But now we have a detective iPad, so everything's fine, maybe. Also, in the beginning of the game, broadcasts have been getting disrupted by someone called the Quartering Duke, and he literally puts people in animal costumes and then murders them in front of cameras for everyone to see on live streams. And he's inspired numerous copycat killers. I always love when my job interviews end in being drugged and kidnapped. And when the answer is get hired or get hired. And not just a handful either. Dozens of icons crowd around like ants swarming over food. Judging by my own marker on the map, I think these icons are all people. That's what I was thinking. But if that's the case, what does this mean? Sounds like some of Pangy's interviews. Yeah, but with the pyramid scheme people. My apprehension refuses to die down. I get the sense that going in there would only end in regret, just as Senior Detective had warned. I need to decide my next step carefully. I think we're going to listen to Senior Detective. That other option sounds like a quick bad end, right? I decide to do what Senior Detective suggested and make my way toward the manor at the peak of the mountain. My mentor always chided me for being so rash. Maybe I wouldn't have been abducted if I had just waited for him like I was supposed to. What's more, I get this deep feeling of dread whenever I look at that building to the right of the teleport. I should follow Senior Detective's advice, especially considering that he must have a way better grasp of the situation than me. What is this place, really? This island? What if that's where we meet the cast? No, I think we're gonna meet the cast at the building he told us to go to. I make my way up the mountain, quietly grumbling to myself. Then suddenly... Yeah, the main character has Danganronpa hair. A chill runs down my spine. I quickly turn to look behind me. But the only thing in sight is that building. I get the strange feeling that going there would have had irrevocable consequences for me. My uneasiness lingers, but I turn my back and keep going on in spite of it. Go back to see the bad end? I should have saved. I continue up the twisting mountain path for about 15 minutes until at last I arrive at the manor door. This music sounds familiar. Am I trapped on this island? It was a gentle incline, but I'm still spent. I warily take a seat, resting my back against the outside wall of the manor. It's the exact kind of setting you'd expect in any mystery novel. The manor's exterior speaks to its age and smells faintly of lumber. During my approach, I could only gasp at the structure's imposing beauty. Is this a new VN, Pengy? Yes, we beat the last one. Upon closer inspection, I notice its windows are constructed mainly from an unnaturally thick glass, impossible to break or peek through. I stand up and circle the perimeter, but there don't appear to be any points of entry aside from the front door. If anything, it seems like it was built to house prisoners, not residents. This definitely isn't your average manor. What on earth could be waiting within? I slow down and catch my breath. My hand is damp with sweat as I turn the knob of the manor's only entrance. A loud clink rings out as it swings open with ease. I think both, Kisuan. So far, there's been a little bit of blood and disturbing scenes, but also heavily a mystery element. Yeah, that glass looks a lot like brick. So, anyway, the interior seems normal enough. Am I just overthinking things? This looks like where they met up in Zero Escape 1. Like this, Jam. He's one of us. I ask weakly as I take a step inside. As soon as I let go of the knob, the door closes on its own. One moment later... Huh? A sharp pain suddenly erupts in my head, causing me to stagger involuntarily. Shadow at my feet expands rapidly. My spine tingles as I feel something rush quickly towards me. Without even a moment of hesitation, I kick out and leap to the side. However, something slams hard against my back the back of my skull. The impact sends me flying, my vision swims, my mind already fading. I find myself unable to stand, then the world fades to white. There's absolutely no dating, I have no idea. Yo guys, this chump ain't waking up. How's about I kick him around a bit? He's so violent, Rowdy. Your voice is nearby. Hey, totes side with Doleful here. Violence is so not cool. Why don't we just, like, dump a bucket of water on him instead? That idea is just as extreme downtown. Let's try and consider our options rationally. Perhaps his vital organs are unresponsive. I shall administer a cardiac massage at once. No need for that. I think he's waking up. I open my eyes, but my vision is blurred. You know, knowing that this is the Disgaea people, I see it so hard with these character designs. The dizzying pain in my head is unbearable. There's a constant ringing in my ears, and my body won't reach. A wave of nausea comes over me, but I manage to stop myself from groaning. What happened? I vaguely recall being hit by something the moment I stepped into the manor. At last, my vision finally clears up. Who are you people? When my eyes refocus, I met with several unfamiliar faces and a sturdy rope binding. I'm tied up, surrounded by a group of strangers. What in the world is going on? You lousy intruder! A girl in a sports jacket grabs me by the throat, glowering menacingly. She looks to be in her early teens, but her strength is incredible. I can't get a peep out while trapped in her iron grip.
本部で待ち伏せか。
You got some stones jumping us on our home turf? Who are you spying for, huh? Huh?
大和探偵さん。
Calm down, rowdy detective.
落ち着いてられるか。
To hell with that! This jam oak might have offed some of our own. Plus, he won't even give us an answer. I ain't just gonna let that slide.
だけど、首を絞め
Well,
上
he
げた
can't
まま
talk
で
if you're
は何も
actively
話
choking
せ
him
ませ
now,
ん
can
よ。
he?
え？
Huh?
おお。
Crap! You got a point,
探偵の言う通り
techie
だな。
detective. Sorry, intruder, my bad, 100%. The girl in the sports jacket lets me go, then immediately falls to her knees, touching her head to the floor as she apologizes.
顔を上げてください。
It's okay. You don't need to grovel about it. I'm still in the dark here, but I get that you have every reason to suspect me.
その通りだが、このままじゃ筋が通らねえ。
That checks out,
けど
but
だ。
it don't make
今回
us
のを一発。
it don't make
俺
us
に見張って
right.
くれ。
One bad turn deserves another, so come on, hit me.
そんなことしません
No
よ。
way am I gonna do that. Besides, I can't. I'm all tied up, so please stop vowing. I have literally no idea what's happening. Who are all of you? What is this island? What's going on around here? As I ask the so-called rowdy detective my questions, the boy in the wheelchair approaches us. Oh, I didn't even notice that he was in a wheelchair. I take it you aren't here of your own volition? You say you aren't informed on the situation, right? Yeah. All I know is that Senior Detective brought me here. Senior Detective? The boy called Techie Detective cups his chin in thought. I checked your eyes to verify you were unconscious. We'll just assume it wasn't a self-induced ruse for now. But Senior Detective bringing you to HQ? That doesn't sit well with me. Where do you fit in with the rest of us? What do you have to do with the Quartering Duke investigation? Yo? Earth to Techie Detective? Huh? Ow! Sorry, I was lost in thought. Rowdy Detective pokes Techie Detective, snapping him out of his trance. He dips his head in apology. I'm as confused as ever right now, but I have heard of these two detectives before. Does that mean all of them are... Anyway, should we let the guy loose? Keep grilling him while he's all tied up, and people are gonna think we're into this kind of stuff. Hold on, Downtown Detective! Huh? What? Sorry, I was just, we should wait a bit longer, I think. The trendy girl responds with indignation, causing the frail boy to tear up. It's a boy? Nevertheless, he doesn't back down. Our enemy wields a deadly poison that can kill over 20 people. If this is him, he could wipe us all out just by scattering a trace amount of it. Freeing him without at least a pat-down would be far too dangerous. Oh yeah, I guess I got a little antsy there. My bad. Even though her idea got rejected, the trendy girl called Downtown Detective laughs as if nothing happened. Thanks, Doleful Detective. No wonder you're number 14. Bad props. The nonsense! I'm just paranoid. Still, I don't want any more victims like all those people in the research facility. If anything, we need to be overcautious. Okay, so the place next to the helipad is a research facility, and those bodies were people that got poisoned? The somewhat androgynous youth speaks with a voice full of fear. Victims like those in the research facility. The comment catches my attention, but now isn't the time to be asking questions. Instead, I hold my tongue and continue to watch in silence. Downtown Detective will surely survive. Jam character detective. Fear not, Sir Doleful Detective. Even should his intentions prove nefarious, I, Armor Detective, shall swear to protect you. The armored man rests one hand on the youth, called the Doleful Detective, and the other on the Downtown Detective. Thanks, Armor. Physical exertion is a lot for me, so I appreciate it. Though the boy smiles at Armor Detective, Downtown Detective waves off the gauntlet, looking utterly repulsed. Yeah, nah, I'm good. You're like suffocating me. Could you back off, number 32? Ah, you called my rank, despite mine being the only one here that is lower than 30. My heart is stirred. I swear on my life to protect you. Take a hint. How annoying can you get? Armored Detective happily strides closer to Downtown Detective. He doesn't seem to notice the look of genuine disgust on her face. Moving on, we should touch base with the chief of our D-pads. We're lucky our device's signals allow us to communicate from the manor to the research facility. A man who looks like a corporate employee joins the conversation. He holds a familiar tablet-like device in his hands, a D-pad, the trademark of the Detective Alliance. My heart beats fast in spite of myself, as I guess at the nature of my company. Yeah, thanks, Workaholic Detective. You're always so quick on your feet. Adulting 101. Plan, do, check, act. As for our sleeping beauty here, I got in touch with the chief, and he is indeed a fellow member of the DA. Be safe, I'd like to confirm with you directly. This is no mistake, right? Right, no mistake about it, though I only just got my D-pad. Honestly, I'm completely new to this. Everything clicks into place as I speak with the man referred to as Workaholic Detective. I knew it. They really are part of the Alliance, and these aren't just any average members. They're so famous even a nobody like me knows them. There could only be one possible reason why a group of detectives like this would be gathered here. It was the same thing I had been brought for, to discuss how to handle the quartering Duke. They're all here for that meeting, no doubt. The only question that remains, why would a new recruit who lacks even a proper alias be here at Detective Alliance HQ? Were you also invited to participate in our discussion regarding how to deal with the quartering Duke? Yes, Senior Detective explained it to me. Oh, that's right, I have my own D-pad too. So the one in your shirt pocket really was yours. My apologies. I took the liberty of searching you. Yeah, invited, more like we were given no choice. What? When? I don't know how, but Workaholic Detective is clearly holding my device. The fact that he could swipe it without my noticing is terrifying. Now then, if you would allow me to borrow your hand for just a moment. Workaholic Detective grabs my hand to bypass the D-pad's fingerprint authentication, navigating to the message application with practiced ease. He seems to be checking my invitation to the Quartering Duke meeting, which I had been reading just before I fell unconscious. I see. It's the exact same message as the one I received. It appears you truly will be joining us. Relief washes through me at Workaholic Detective's smile, but it doesn't last long. That being said, anyone capable of infiltrating this island would have no trouble faking a simple email. Workaholic Detective's smile runs grim. His piercing gaze cuts right through me, making my body flare up with goosebumps. Making lousy knockoffs, eh? You're asking for a one-way ticket to hell, pal, courtesy of my fists. Don't give off that unique presence the rest of us detectives have. Just who are you? We lack sufficient data for any conclusions. For now, just have no choice but to keep him under surveillance until we can find out more. The other detectives watch me warily. Their eyes make it abundantly clear that they're on high alert. I completely understand why they suspect my exceptional circumstances, but that doesn't make their looks sting any less. Dwelling on Doleful Detective's unsettling remark earlier leads me to wonder what happened to the Detective Alliance. Look, being on edge doesn't help us at all, so why don't we just, I don't know, bring him along. We still gotta find Old Man Senior, so it's not like we have time to stand around arguing. Our minds are as one, Lady Downtown Detective, I fully concur. Let us treat him as a compatriot until more evidence appears. Our minds are miles apart, weirdo, but whatevs. Call me an airhead, but I'm with armor on this one. It'd be chill to take him with. Besides, I know my mystery stories. Splitting up would be like totally suicide. Mystery stories, you say? Techie Detective smiles wryly as Rowdy detective grabs the rope tying me up.
まあ、渋谷の
Yeah,
ニュータウン
Downtown's
だ
got the right idea. Rowdy detective tears my restraint apart as if they're made of paper. I can now move freely, except for my bound hands. But still, that raw physical strength. It's hard to believe a girl smaller than me can be so powerful.
仲間同士で疑い合ってたら
Mistrusting each other is exactly what the Quartering Duke wants, so for now, I'll trust you too. I wish you'd asked before acting, but at least I do agree with the notion. My search didn't turn up anything suspicious. Until further notice, you'll be coming with us. Seeing as this is a race against the clock, I'll have to catch you up as we move along. Thank you. The detectives head out one after another. Now that the mood has lightened up a bit, I can't help but let out a sigh of relief. Senior officer tells newbie to wander into the restricted area without informing said restricted area that he would be coming. This is hazing, isn't it? Yeah, I'm like, what is happening here? Also, he says that they're against the clock, which I guess because they're supposed to have a meeting at a certain time? And the Quartering Duke wants us to suspect each other? What does that mean? I've seen plenty of suspects get interrogated in mystery novels and shows, but never did I expect to be the one in the hot seat. Life sure keeps you on your toes.
そういえば、侵入
That
者さんの
reminds
ことは
me,
なんて呼べ
should
ばい
we
い
call you intruder? You don't
ま
have
だ
a
探偵
detective
ネームないん
alias,
でしょ
right? This
せっ
is
か
your
くだ
chance
し
to pick
今
one.
決めちゃおうよ
僕の名前
Well,
は
my name is... I barely stopped myself from answering Downtown Detective with my real name. Keeping your name secret is the first rule of the Detective Alliance. It could be deadly for your identity to get out between cases. That's why, upon joining the DA, members are given a one-word code based on a defining characteristic of theirs. That code name is known as a detective alias. I've longed to have one of my own ever since Mr. Gunjoji told me about them.
僕の
My detective
探偵ネー
alias
ム
is,
は
despite my yearning for it, it's hard to think of anything on the spot. I have no experience, skills, or defining characteristics. To be perfectly honest, I couldn't even begin to guess why I was let into the Alliance.
いや、悩みすぎっしょ
What? Is that
君
hard?
さ
You're
見
older
た
than
感じ
me.
うちより
Shouldn't
年
you
上っ
have
ぽいの
more
に
life experience?
なんでそんなに余裕
Seriously,
ない
dude,
わ
I
け
can't even with you.
面目ないです
Sorry, this is really embarrassing.
ほら一緒に考
Well,
え
let's
よ
think
う
of
よ
one together.
特技
What
は
are your
何
skills? Anything you're
今
good
までの
at
事件
in
で得意
all
だ
the
と感じ
cases
た
you've
こ
been
と
in
な
so
いわ
far?
け
I'm good at
猫を
finding
探すのが
cats.
得
You
意で
like
した
me? Downtown Detective gives a deep sigh. My amateur status fills me with shame.
じゃあ無能
Alrighty, then how about we
ってこと
call
で
you
よろしく
Incompetent Detective? Oh, that's not.
え
What? And that's just cruel. You might as well be saying I'm not good. I'm good for nothing. I mean, not that it isn't true, but still. I'd obviously prefer a different name, but before I can object...
他のみんなもいい名前が
Hey,
決まる前は
everyone! Until we think of something better, this here is Incompetent Detective, okay?
大和男児らしい謙虚な名前だ
Nice and humble. Fitting for a young gun itching to find his place in the world.
飛躍探偵さんや社畜探
I
偵さん
see.
と同じく
So it's
特徴を
a
カリカチュアした
caricature
タ
of
イ
your
プの名前
traits
なんですね
in the same vein as doleful and workaholic.
一緒に頑張ろうね
Right. You're one of us now, Incompetent.
呼び名があると仲間らしさがぐ
A
っ
name
と
with
強
which
ま
you
るのである
we can call upon. Your aid deepens our bonds. I am at your service, Sir Incompetent.
このご利用しな
You know, the new guy takes me back.
時を
Incompetent Detective rapidly gains the approval of the rest, so rapidly that it's too late to dispute it, much to my chagrin.
秒で定着して
Aw, look how fast your new name caught on. I'm so happy for you, Incompetent.
全然良くない
Doesn't make me happy at all. Despite my protests, Downtown Detective ignores me, flashing a devilish smile. Thus did I become Incompetent Detective, an official member of the detective agency.
Hun, sweetie, love, darling.
Big Ava energy, for sure. You all picked up on it. A bright red carpet covers the floor, and landscape paintings adorn the walls of the corridor. The detectives explain the situation as we walk down the passageway. The scent of the roses on display around us drifts in the air.
君が連れてこられたこの場所は
This location to which you've been brought is an island that
こ
doesn't
の
appear
絶
on any
海の
map.
ことを本
The
拠地
DA
と
has
して
used it
探
as a
偵同盟
base of
は活
operation
動を
for
続け
years.
本部の2つの
It
建
has two
物
buildings,
捜査の
Snarks,
保持
a
や機器
research
の開発を
facility
行
for
うための研究
investigation
施設
support and gear
スナック
development,
と
and
宿泊
Gormangast,
用の
a
洋館
manor for
本
overnight
来
stays.
私た
The
ちが到着した後は
original
こ
plan
の洋
was
館
for
に
everyone
ジ
to
オラマで再
discuss the
現され
situation in the
た
manor.
八崎工
We
事
were
件
to
の主要
review
な内容を見な
dioramas
がら
of various
全員で整
quartering
理す
duke
る手はずだった
cases.
だったというのは
What was the plan? Rowdy detective suddenly punches the wall beside her, causing the other nearby walls to tremble from the impact.
俺たちが到着
When we
した
got
時に
here,
は
a bunch of
本部
detectives
の
from
探偵たち
HQ
の
had
多
been
くが
snuffed out
毒
by
殺されて
poison.
研究施設
All
にいた
22 members at the
22
research
人のメンバー
facility gone.
22人が
All 22 of them? Every hair in my body stands on the end at the news. So that's interesting. Why was he seeing visions of the dead investigators, even though he'd never been in there? Also, didn't they say that there was gonna be 16 of them? So maybe there's a bunch that we haven't met yet? Even among history's more infamous mass murders, few had a death toll that were more than 20. Killing 22 people at once is beyond all reason.
犯人はまるでゴ
The
ミでも
culprit
扱う
piled
ご
their
とく
bodies at the facility's entrance as if they were not but rubbish. Such savagery is no less than inhuman.
布の先輩があの死体
Seeing
の
that
山を
heap
見て
of
たら
corpses would have
しば
killed
らく
your
ご飯を
appetite
食
big
べれ
time
なかったと思う
incompetent.
よ
But, and the poison gas
毒
filling
発
the
が
room
充
would
満
have
して
killed
て
you for
行
real.
かなくてラッキーだったかもね
Okay, so if we had gone inside, we absolutely would have gotten gassed. You didn't go in there, huh? But that means Senior Detective knew about it. A heap of corpses, just imagining it makes me faint. And that's not even taking the deadly gas into account.
投資探偵はその
The
惨
senior
状を知っ
detective
て
knew about that gruesome scene,
僕をこの
so he
館
sent
に
me
向かわせ
straight
た
to
の
the
かも
manor
しれない
instead. It also explained why he hid me in the forest and went off on his own. I need to find him soon and thank him for keeping me safe.
やっぱり八
It was
崎公の
another
犯行なん
quartering
ですか
Duke attack, right?
それは
I'm
まだ
not sure
本当
yet.
の
For how many
あれだ
deaths
け
there
大
were,
量
the
の殺
clues
人
are
にもかか
awfully
わらず
scarce.
八崎港事件の特徴は
Quartering Duke cases
必ず
always
被害
result
者が
in
2
two
人同時に現れる
different
こと
victims.
だ
This crime would appear to
今回
have a
の犯行
different
は
modus
少し毛色が
operandi.
異なる
八崎公の
The
野郎が
quartering
犯人に
Duke
決まっ
did
て
him
るぜ
in. No doubt. If I catch the bastard skulking around the island, I'm a clean as clock. It said that the quartering Duke has killed over 100 people, but even that was over the course of half a year. On the other hand, murdering 22 people at once, all of them first-rate detectives, no less, could hardly be the work of an amateur. I get the impression that he commits grisly deeds for the thrill of it, but otherwise his identity is a complete mystery.
僕らは当然研究施設
We
の
began
捜
our
査を始めた
investigation
ので
at
す
the
が
research facility,
その途中で
but then the
リーダー
chief's
の
deep
デバイス
had
に
received
生き残
a
った同盟の
message
メンバー
from
と
a
そんな
surviving
連絡が入っ
Alliance
たんです
member. Techie Detective draws out his own D-pad and plays an audio file. Senior Detective, some attacked research dead. Hidden Gormangast. Chief, meet their help. The recording cuts off there. Although the sound was low and full of static, even I could grasp what it signified.
この声って老
It's
子探
Senior
偵ですよね
Detective's voice, isn't it? He's alive then.
あ
Thank goodness.
あの人はい間
Yes,
違いな
I'm
く老
certain
子探
that's
偵
him.
だと思います
Making it through this
この状
situation
況で無事だなん
unscathed.
て
It's no
さ
wonder
すが
he's
は
a
レジェン
legend
ド
among
クラスの探偵で
detectives.
すよね
Does anybody else feel like we're gonna discover Senior Detective dead? I just have a feeling.
にすごい探偵なんですか?
Is he really that incredible?
今でもメディアでよく取り上げられる
Do you know the Dayless Night incident? It still shows up on the news. Not only did he solve it, he's also a founding member of the DA. Dayless Night incident. Even school textbooks talk about that case. You're saying he cracked it? I was a kid then, so I don't remember much, but it was the worst terror attack in national history, sparked by a new religious movement. From that event onward, criminal atrocities swept the nation, which is part of why the Detective Alliance was formed. Solving a case of that magnitude would absolutely qualify him as a legend. Originally, we'd split up from the other detectives and headed to the manor to reconvene with Senior. Soothly, it must be a villain most foul for even Sir Senior to be forced into hiding. We must hasten to his aid forthwith. Huh? You mean there are other detectives here besides you guys? For sure, there's what, 6 more investigating the research facility? It's like a Detective BOGO sale in there! LMAO! Oh no. She really is, Ava. I don't quite get what she means by that, but I guess it is a lot of detectives. I'm still reeling from the heinous murders we have yet to unravel, but at least now there's a glimmer of hope. She better not XDS. I believe we've searched every room, but there's no sign of Senior. Clearly best girl as of this moment. Yeah, I agree with you, Nano. The characters all seem kind of interesting to me, though. Maybe less so Rowdy Detective, but I like all the other ones. Maybe the culprit arrived here before we did. Senior would have realized that and escaped. If the message was intercepted, the culprit could have easily gotten ahead of us. Yeah, I can see that happening. It took us, what, 10 minutes to get here? There's only one path from the facility to here, and it's surrounded by sheer cliffs. No one could escape without us noticing. The detectives process the situation with impressive speed. I'm barely keeping up as I struggle to understand what it all means. Downtown's casual chit-chat is about the only thing that makes any sense to me. This room doesn't get wireless internet either? Why bother having a phone then? This is such a major bummer. Even if there were a router here, I doubt it would do you any good. Oh yeah? Why? Because the island's off the grid? Exactly. I tried connecting to a wired network in the research facility, but I couldn't get it to work at all. I made another attempt here at the manor a moment ago, but that failed too. The island's communications antenna must be down. But our D-pads can still link up with each other, right? What's the diff between that and our smartphones? Well, D-pads have a unique communication system. As part of the R&D team, I must say, it's truly amazing tech. Basically, it works by... Okay, we get it. So I can't even, like, chat about my followers while we're here. Chat with my followers, even. Could this be any lamer? I prefer to see this as an opportunity for us fellow detectives to deepen our bonds of camaraderie. Yes, it can. Sen, you gotta be kidding me! Rowdy Detective starts crawling on all fours like a dog at the entrance of the room. She presses her face to the carpet with a sharp expression on her face. What's wrong, Rowdy? She's a Kane. Blood. I can smell it. Huh? Silence fills the room. The others all turn to look at Rowdy. Nearly missed it thanks to that rosy smell and red carpet, but the floor's got blood on it, see? From the entrance to them flowers. Rowdy Detective approaches an empty vase and sticks her hand in it, pulling out a knife. Bingo! Dunno which poor mug's sauce this is, but I'll tell you one thing. Some goon was on the loose end in here. You know, with the art style and the general like look of the backgrounds and also the music, does anybody else get 999 vibes from this? I actually think this game is really interesting so far. The backgrounds for sure, and specifically, I guess the 999 characters looked a little less, like modern / the art style was a little different, but, his hair. She's a snow run. Ah! I actually really like her aesthetic, but she's like the gruff, she's the sporty spice type. How did you even notice the smell? The blood is already dry. I've been hunting with my old man since I was little. I've got the nose of a bloodhound, eyes of a hawk, ears of a rabbit, and a raw macho spirit. I'm not so convinced that helping on hunting trips would give you these kinds of abilities, but it's astonishing nonetheless. Rowdy, that knife wasn't used here, was it? Yeah, nothing in this room but traces and stains. Guessing they only came to hide the knife. I can track the scent, but the hall's chock full of roses. It ain't gonna be easy with them smelling up the place. Ah, I figured as much. That said, Teki, might you have an alternative method? Of course! I go by this alias for a reason, after all. Teki Detective proudly pulls a cute little machine that resembles a puppy out from his pocket. This is my tracking forensic friend, Sniffy Whiffy. The Alliance helped me develop him. He can tirelessly trace down any scent he registers, and his prime directive even, is to save lives. Furthermore, he has small rubber treads to cover tricky terrain without disrupting the scene, and can move up to 15 kilometers per hour. He's also equipped with a transmitter, so you can monitor him from the D-pad. Plus, he uses the same lithium-ion batteries as the International Space. Yes, that's all very impressive. We'd love to hear more about it later, but for now, why don't we start tracking? Oh, right. Sorry. I get a little carried away when I talk about my inventions. Teki Detective returns to reality, hanging his head in shame. Now, let's not waste any time. Use this tool. He's not a tool, this is my friend! Don't just treat him like some piece of equipment! Workaholic Detective bows several times in apology for misspeaking. True to his name, he's the very picture of a harried office worker. Teki Detective may seem calm and collected, but careless remarks about his inventions are a sore spot of his. I better watch my words. Detective Ojo. Sorry everyone for blowing up like that. Let's get to tracking that scent. Teki Detective calms down, setting his dog-like tracking machine, Sniffy Whiffy, loose near the bloodstains. Sniffy Whiffy scoots across the floor, just like a real dog. He circles around a couple of times, and then thumps into the room's door. He's on the hunt! Let's open the door and see where he goes! I open the door, and Sniffy Whiffy darts out of the room, barreling down the hallway toward the stairs. All I can pick up is roses, but he must have zeroed in on the trail of the blood. How about that? My nose wasn't getting jack squat. Strictly speaking, it's not the scent, but rather the air particles that he tracks. That's why he isn't thrown off by other smells in the vicinity. So much for that whole nose of a bloodhound spiel. Can it? My nose is what got us this lead in the first place. Sniffy Whiffy stops at a painting just before the stairs to the entrance hall. Sniffy Whiffy has halted? Could this be the site of the stabbing? No tin for brains. I don't see a bloodstain, do you? The knife must have been used somewhere else, like behind the painting. Behind it? Whatever could you mean? Is there a world within the painting? To think the stuff of children's fairy tales could actually exist. Relax, Armor. The answer is clear if you think it through logically. Workaholic touches the painting as he inspects the frame. He then gently taps the artwork before pressing his ear against it. Ah,
間違いない。
no question about it.
この絵画
There's a
の
hollow space
空
behind the
洞が
painting,
広がっている
which means that if I shift it like this, still touching the painting, Workaholic Detective moves his hand. The entire wall around it slips back like a sliding door, revealing a hidden passage. Sniffy Whiffy, who has been waiting in place, begins moving again, right down the newly discovered path.
今ので分かったんですか？
How did you figure that out?
それは企業秘密
Trade
っていう
secret.
ことで。
You pick up a lot
私はこの
as
仕
you've been
事を
on the
続
job
け
as
て
long as
長
I
い
have.
からね。
おじさんやるじゃん。
Dang, Gramps, you got me rethinking my take on you. No cap, I might even IDK kinda sorta respect you now.
おじさんは勘弁してほ
She
しい
really
な。
just said no cap.
私、まだ
I
一応
wish you
20
wouldn't
代
call me
だから
that.
ね。
I'm still in my 20s, you know. Barely, but it still counts. Workaholic Detective turns red in the face as Downtown Detective slaps him on the behind.
この先でナイフが
That
使わ
blade
れ
was
たの
used
だ
somewhere
な。
up ahead. As we know not what may occur, I shall stand in the vanguard.
おい待てって。
Wait up, bucko. It's wide enough for two, see? I'm taking the lead
俺も
too,
先
so
頭に
keep
立
your
っ
eyes
て周り
peeled.
を。
Rowdy Detective tries to push forward, but is stopped by Doleful Detective.
大和さんが科学
Actually, would you mind guarding the entrance
通路
with
の入
Tippy
り口を
and
見張って
downtown,
おいて
Rowdy?
くれないかな。
I think my abilities could come
今
in
の
handy
状
here.
況なら僕の
Armor and Doleful Detective are to spearhead our foray into this secret passage, with me and Workaholic Detective following after. Downtown, Rowdy, and Techie Detective would remain at the entryway, acting as lookouts in case the tunnel is a trap. So, why would they need 3 lookouts? As for why I'm being brought along, it's probably because I won't be able to escape in the tunnel. I'm struck by the fact that Workaholic, the most experienced of the group, had deftly assumed a position beside me. Case 1 is a killer, oh true. These detectives don't miss a single beat. Yeah, good point, Nano.
僕と武装さんで先導してい
Alright,
くね。
Armor and I will lead the way. As he speaks, Doleful and Armor Detective enter the tunnel together, Workaholic and I right behind them. 4 of us descend down a spiral staircase that winds its way underground. Oh, this looks just like the place where they were running from in his flashback, no? At the bottom is a gloomy underground tunnel. We proceed into it using the light function on our D-pads to guide our way. I'm still mad at Natalie for getting Jagan killed. The only sounds are our footfalls echoing in the tunnel, as well as Sniffy Whiffy's treads crawling across the floor ahead of us. The air is dusty and reeks of mold, making it hard to breathe. Clearly, this place is seldom used. My love of cleanliness apes to ventilate with this. Doleful Detective's eyes narrow as he travels the tunnel. His usual fearful countenance is tense, as if he's an entirely different person.
大したものだろう。
Impressive, is it not? Doleful's intense concentration, that is. Workaholic Detective whispers to me as if he's reading my mind.
彼の序列は10
Ranked number 14, he solved over 100 mysteries and survived just as many bloody encounters as us veteran detectives. Over 100 cases solved. The idea alone leaves me speechless. We can't be that far apart in age, and yet his track record is on a whole other level. What sort of heroic life has this seemingly gentle boy led up till now?
飛脚さんが言っていた。
What did Doleful mean when he said his abilities could come in handy here?
じきに君も身をもって知る
You'll see soon enough. He possesses what we in the Alliance would call the makings of a great detective. Doleful Detective stops in his tracks.
武装さん
Armor, stop!
どうしたの
What happened, Sir Doleful? Your leg is
足が出て
bleeding.
いるぞ
Armor shines his D-pad light on Doleful Detective's leg, revealing a trail of blood beneath his knee. Something reflects in the light just ahead of them.
足元に。
There's something at your feet!
何？
おそらく
My
侵入
guess is
者
that it's a
撃退
trap
用
to
の
ward
罠だ
off
よ。
intruders. Judging by the texture, it must be some kind of wire. He's right. When I get close to the reflection, I see red dripping off an extremely fine wire. It was so razor thin and difficult to see that, were it not for the blood, it would have been nearly imperceptible, even in direct light.
探偵同盟
This is the
開発中のワイヤー
wires.
層か
The wire saw the Detective Alliance is currently developing. Why would the Alliance make something like this?
密室の錠前をこじ開け
Cutting
たら
locks to
拉致が
enter
拘束
sealed
された時
rooms,
の
or
護
as a
身用だろう
means of
ね
escape when restrained.
本来は特殊なグロ
Word
ーブをつけて
is
使うもの
that
だと
it
聞い
requires
ている
special gloves to handle.
素手では触らない方がいい
Best to avoid touching it, given its intended use. It's so sharp that with enough pressure, it could cut straight through human flesh. It's a good thing I noticed then! Workaholic Detective produces medication and bandages from his pocket and begins applying first aid to Doleful Detective's leg.
ひどい怪我だけど
This is a rather nasty cut, but you're lucky to get off this
君以
lightly.
外が引っかかってたら
Anyone else would have
足
been
が
liable
切
to
断
lose
さ
a
れ
leg
て
in
て
your
もおかし
position.
くない
Situations like these are about the only time my special skill ends up useful. Does he, like, not sustain injury like other people? Is that what they're getting at?
体質って一体どういうこと
Special skill? What do you mean? For some reason, Doleful Detective struggles to reply. Workaholic steps in to answer on his behalf.
飛脚君は昔から自分の身を危うくする事象に巡り
Doleful
合いや
is
す
a
いんだ
danger magnet with a knack for close
今
calls.
回のような
From
罠
traps
か
to
ら
wanted
指名手
criminals
配
to
犯に
finding
殺
murder
人
scenes, and
果ては
even
飛脚
evidence.
君はこ
His
れまで
innate
持
intuition
ち
and
前の勘と
powers
洞
of
察力で
insight are what
そ
have
んな
allowed him
過
to
酷な境遇
survive
を生き抜い
such
てきたんだ
less than fortunate circumstances.
だから
So that's how he has the makings of a great detective. In stories, detectives are always expected to survive, even when wrapped up in a personal case, and even when their life is on the line. And now I'm standing in front of a life detective who embodies that very trope.
そんな大それた
It's
力
not
じゃ
that
ないよ
impressive. In fact, I'd say I just bring misfortune to everyone and everything around me. It's kind of miserable of an existence. Doleful Detective's expression flickers as he touches a bandage to his wrist. The countless traces of medical attention covering his body shows just how much suffering he's constantly enduring.
だけどその分危険には
Still,
人一倍
it's
敏感
made
なん
me
だ
more sensitive to threats than the average person. I can always sense when I'm in danger, so just think of me as your shield. See the resolve within Doleful Detective's eyes as he speaks. He and I look similar. I might even be the older one, but nothing in me competes with that look. We couldn't be further apart.
飛脚殿
Sir Doleful, you needn't be so reserved. Armor Detective abruptly steps forward and then swings his arm up, or bringing it down to chop the wire before us. Right, he has armor. Armor Detective, that wire can cut steel. Just because you're wearing protective covering doesn't mean...
心配無
Fear
用だ
not! The suit in which I am clad is a product of my family's long-held secrets. Behold the strongest armor known to man! The wire parts with ease. Sure enough, Armor Detective doesn't have a single scratch on him. Both Doleful and Workaholic widen their eyes in
どのような罠にかかろうとも
No matter the trap, mine armor shall prevail.
安心して
Set your minds
我
at
を先頭に立
ease
たせ
and
ると
allow
い
me
い
to take the lead.
だけど
But
僕が
putting
前
me
に
in
出とい
front
た
will
方が
minimize the
チー
total
ム
risk
全
for
体の
our
リスク
team
を
as a
抑えられる
whole.
仲間が傷つくかもしれぬのを静観しては
I
おれ
can't
ん
stand idly whilst my companions are hurt. Despite my inadequacies, I hasten here to be as an aegis for each of you. I sense poison in Armor Guy's future. We'll see. Armor Detective speaks with a calmness that eases Doleful Detective's taut expression. So, is the little, like, blood-trekking robot dog, like, cut to pieces, or did he just avoid the wires somehow? Despite the latter's brave front, he might have been nearing his limit. You, Armor. In that case, I'll stay back a bit and keep an eye out. Armor Detective Kate takes the lead as Doleful acts as a lookout behind him.
武装
Armor,
さ
I
ん
can sense
す
a
ぐ先
threat
頭
right in
僕
front
の
of me.
首あたりに
About
脅威の気配
head
を
height.
感じます
またワイヤーだな
Another wire, eh? Understood. Without a second thought, Armor Detective swings his hand toward the area Doleful Detective indicated. Chop, chop, chop. Sometimes Doleful Detective's warnings come too late, and Armor runs into a wire, but even then, it never leaves a mark. We'll continue safely through the darkness until,
発信機の反応を見
based on the signal, the tracker has stopped 5 meters ahead. It would seem we've arrived at the scene where the knife was used. We finally make it to the end of the tunnel with 0 injuries, save for Doleful Detective, of course. Sniffy Whiffy is parked right in front of a steel door, which means the bloody knife we found earlier must have been used right behind it.
武装君
I hate to ask, Armor, but would you mind taking point? No need to apologize, Sir Workaholic. My armor exists for the very moment I must forge such paths. And yet, Armor Detective looks tense as he cautiously touches the doorknob. Goosebumps ripple across my body. Deep down, I get the overwhelming urge to scream, "Don't open it," as if my mind somehow knows that what we're about to see is truly horrific. So, is this guy like... Is he some kind of prophet? Like, why is he's having visions of things? I have an extremely bad feeling about this. I shall open the door on the count of 3. 1, 2. Or he's a baddie and that's why he knows. Ooh. Damn. Doorknob makes a click as it turns. My heart rate leaps and I can't bring myself to leave. 3. A blinding light flashes as the door opens, forcing me to avert my eyes. On top of that, metallic stench enveloped me. That's blood. The way it sticks to my throat makes me cough. However, none of the other detectives show even a hint of fear as they proceed beyond the door. I hurry to follow them, but at that moment, the awful detective's cry echoes out. Wait. The fuck? As I step into the room, the first thing I see is the ground dyed in crimson. The red spreads across so much of the floor at first, I mistake it for a carpet pattern. There's no way that's the case, despite my hateful disbelief. The smell filling the air tells me it's blood. With each breath, the metallic stench fills my lungs, my stomach, my whole body. I'm assailed by an overwhelming urge to vomit. If I lose focus for even a moment, I know I'll wind up spilling my guts out. Upon closer inspection, I notice something floating in the ocean of gore. It's large and reminds me of a caterpillar. 4 other long, thin objects surround it. In a way, they resemble a quartet of lifeboats, all rowing in different directions away from a sinking ship. But, in truth, they're human limbs. Scattered across the floor, before us is a scene devoid of life. A man whose name I don't know gazes at me, his head half submerged in a sanguine sea. My eyes are transfixed as I stand there in a daze. There's a biting chill, as if the temperature has dropped by quite a few degrees. My hands and legs tremble, I can barely stand. Every ounce of strength leaves my body, which no longer feels like my own. I muster up all that willpower I can, only to topple over in the spot. Is this all just a bad dream? First crime scene, huh? I know it's hard to take in, but try not to look away. Without any concern to spare for me, Workaholic walks toward the blood. Doleful, Armor, head back up and fetch the other 3 detectives. After that, I'd like you to ask the chief to come to the manor. He sums up the heart of the matter in a look. It's a homicide. Someone has murdered Senior Detective. Regardless of how detached he remains, while objectively stating facts, it doesn't change the reality we're facing. So, okay, I called that shit. Senior Detective is fucked. A middle-aged man's corpse lies dismembered, his limbs strewn across the room to stand in. For the first time in my life, I am confronted with a murder scene. Literally Senior Hate Stream, Chapter 1, The Case of the Dismembered Detective. I stand in a corner, my mind completely blank. This strikes me as natural causes. I hate when my limbs just fall off. Natalie killed senior detective. He did, by lying about the reinforcements. This is my first time witnessing a murder scene in person. Saika's death is seared in my mind, but this is different. Someone I know lies torn to pieces in a vivid sea of blood dead. Yeah, put yourself back together, Senior Chan. I'm no great detective, and although I tried to steel myself, coming face to face with a scene like this has me too weak to stand. Even once I regain my footing, my legs still struggle to remain upright. The metallic stench of fresh blood is one I'll never be able to get used to. I breathe through my mouth as much as possible. If I had a choice, I'd sprint out of this room this very second. Workaholic Detective ignores me as he investigates the corpse with meticulous efficiency. He and the victim must have been well acquainted. His pained look when he found the body suggests that his mental burden is far greater than... Yes, despite that, he shows no sign of weakness. How much experience solving homicides would it take to become a detective like him? I can't even fathom it, the way I am now. The other detectives, who had been summoned by Doleful Detective, are unable to hide their shock at the sight. What's the big idea here? I thought Pops was supposed to have made it. Did he get off while we were rushing over here? It's like so sad, it's not even funny. But that doesn't make any sense. We arrived at the manor 20 minutes after Senior Detective's message. For someone to chop up a body to this extent, hide the weapon, and escape in that amount of time, it's scientifically impossible. His level of blood loss would include livor mortis, and rigor mortis hasn't even set in yet. I may be stating the obvious since he called us just prior, but the state of coagulation indicates that he was killed less than half a day. Well, he spoke to us via message, did he not? I don't think he was cut by the super wire because there was no blood on it until we walked into it. Unless if they have more super wire. Let's re-establish the order of events. Senior contacted us at 12:40. We then split into teams and headed to Gormenghast from Snarks. Since we arrived right at 1300, we can safely assume the crime occurred in the 20 minutes it took to travel from the facility to the manor. I mean, they're not considering that it could have been a recorded message.
We know the murder weapon is the shot put ball.
I don't know about that one, Jam. A Rube Goldberg shot put couldn't possibly have dismembered him. I'm more inclined to think this was Natalie with a Rider's Bane. Question, teacher, isn't there like a chance that the criminal could have like booked it before we left Snarks? Not at all. We headed to Gormenghast as soon as Senior contacted us. Had the killer tried to escape, we'd have surely seen them en route. Thus, the killer must have been within the manor when we arrived. Natalie was the iron ore shop with ball. I can hoof it for days, but I'd still take me 10 minutes to run down. That's an interesting myth. To run down the hill to the facility.
This is nothing to LOL about.
Your theory checks out. So the key question in this is this. Is the perpetrator still inside? Let's consider the time frame for when they could have made their escape. We found incompetent in the entrance hall and spoke for a time, then made our way upstairs. 15 minutes later, so around 13:15.
そしてヤマトさん
After that, thanks to Rowdy and Techie, we discovered the hidden passageway at 1334.
隠し通路の前の廊下からは常
You
に
can see
洋館
the
のエントランスボール
entire
を一
entrance
望
hall
可
from the corridor before
能だ私
this
たちがあの
hidden
場所にたどり
passage.
着いた時点で気づかれずに脱出することは困難になる
So escaping undetected would be a challenge.
犯人が洋館に
If the killer was in the manor,
逃げ出す時間は
their
私たち
only
が
chance to
余計な探索に
escape
集
would
中して
be
い
the
た間
20
の
minutes we
わずか
spent
20
investigating the second floor.
犯人はまだ洋館に
Ergo,
い
it
る可能
is
性が高いん
highly
だ
probable that they are in fact still within the manor.
20分あれば洋館から抜け出すくらいは
Wouldn't
でき
20
るんじゃ
minutes be more than enough time to slip away?
外に出るまではできるかもしれませんが
You can make it outside easily enough, but the real problem comes after the fact.
洋館と研究棟とをつなぐ坂道は一定に
Closed mansion
隠
case,
れる場
yes.
所もありません下っている間に窓から外を見られればおしまいなので現実的には
There's
ないと思い
only
ます
one path from here to Snark's, and no place to hide. The jig would be up if you were seen from a window. It simply isn't realistic. Hey, what's up, Booty? Happy Saturday, how's it going?
その通りだよ
Exactly. I actually made a point of checking out the windows, but I didn't see anything or anyone suspicious.
ちょい待ち
Hold up. No one's in the entrance hall right now. Isn't that, kind of sketch? Like,
脱出し放
they
題じゃ
could
ん
totally escape whenever.
なあそれなら
Oh,
大
that's
丈夫
perfectly alright. The
すでに
chief
リーダー
is
たち
heading
が
over
この
from
洋館
Snarks as we
へ
speak.
もし今脱出を図
If
っ
the
ている
killer
としたら
tries to flee now,
それ
they're
こそ
certain to get
山
caught
道を
before
降り
they
る前
make
に
it
見
down
つ
the
かる
mountain
のだって
path.
さ
Getting home from the gym. Oh, getting home from the gym because, let's be real, do I do literally anything else? I'm doing great, Boot. We are starting a new visual novel tonight, and we already have a murder and a mystery, so I am actually really enjoying this game. We also did a little Fire Emblem earlier, and we will be moving on to Among Us kind of soon, actually. But I think this has been a really good first glimpse of this game. Like, it didn't really fuck around for too long. It established a setting, has good music, it has neat art style and backgrounds, and we're already kind of knee-deep in a murder mystery. You should Among Us sometime, Diamond. That would be super fun. I'm curious to see what kind of cosmetics you would equip.
つまり犯人はまだこの館の
Which
中にいる
means
と
the
いうこ
foul
とか
slayer does indeed still lurk within these walls.
Prepare to be amazed
Remember, Miles Edgeworth has a skin in Among Us now? I saw that. Is it limited? We'll see how the night goes. Okay, perfect. I am sufficiently, like, definitely super buzzed, so this is going to be an interesting Among Us session. All I've eaten today is cereal and had a protein shake. Alright, yeah. We'll start probably at 8:30, okay, Chamazing? So about 14 more minutes, and then we'll make our save in this game and move on. How are you guys liking Process of Elimination so far? You'll consider playing if Jordan does? I don't know if Jordan's playing tonight. Just play anyways, Tammy. How about that? We haven't played in like a month, so y'all murder fiends.
Seesaw homicide.
Y'all murder fiends should be ready for this. Muy interesante. Thank you, Bubble Wand. I am personally feeling this game. This feels like this is probably a good game. Like, I basically like everything about it so far. These noodles are a little on the firm side and the broth isn't as flavorful as it could. It's pho though, right? So like you can like make modifications. Add hoisin, like, or spice. Add poison! I said hoisin! Ja! Get yourself together! So far seems good, yeah, for sure. I'm interested to see who the other characters are.
And this place is... I guess hell.
よっしゃ
Alright then, in that case, let's head back up on the double. It's time for a good old-fashioned manor mouse hunt.
待ってくれ。
Just a moment,
洋館内に
there's
隠れるよりも
a more
ずっと
viable
手軽で
method than
安
hiding
全な
out
ご
in
ま
the
かし方
manor
だ
for
よ。
all this time. Workaholic points directly at me, drawing the focus of the other detectives.
無能君、
Incompetent, if you're the
君が犯
killer,
人なら
then there
時
is
間
no
的に
issue
も何ら
regarding the
問題な
timing.
く
It would
犯
all
行
be
が
entirely
可能なん
feasible.
だよ。
Huh? My voice cracks as I'm caught completely off guard. Me, the killer? How does that make any sense?
単純な話だよ。
It's simple. All you
同志さん
need
は
to
バ
do
ラ
is
バラに
hack up
切断し、
Senior, then
エ
lie
ン
in
ト
the
ランス
entrance
ホー
hall,
ルで倒れ
faking
たふりをする
unconsciousness.
だけなら、
Easily done
我
in
々が
20
到着
minutes.
するまでの20分間で間に合う。
Wait. 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 That means the people that knocked him out when he entered the manor were not them. It was the killer. The ultimate piano. I do miss her. Doesn't have any faith in you. Okay. So are they gonna play the card that it's one of the detectives that we're working with? We don't see the MC character when they talk. There's been a few times where that has been the case, Nano, but in general, yeah, they don't. And I'll be honest, the main character looks a lot like Shuichi from Danganronpa 3. Also, have we stopped to consider what this room is? There's blood on the ceiling, and there's literally nothing in this. This is just like a mysterious room that's just walls in the basement. This is the wall room. Yeah, there are fancy wall sconces. If the culprit was unable to escape the manor, we can only assume that said culprit is you. What are you saying? There's no way I could chop someone apart in 20 minutes. Not to mention all the wires that were set up along the underground passage. How would I have gotten past those? I raised my voice in protest without thinking. Even with armor and doleful helping, getting through that passage took 5 minutes. It's hard to imagine anyone like me with no special traits making it through so quickly. Ah, there's the real conundrum. I figure you use some sort of trick. At any rate, I doubt it's necessarily impossible. What do you mean? Listen closely. Can you hear the voices above us? He's right. If I strain my ears, I can pick up sounds coming from the ceiling. Who are they coming from, though? We shouldn't be the only people inside the manor right now. In terms of layout, our current location is directly beneath the entrance hall. I presume what we're hearing is the chief arriving at the manor. As this basement is likely a hiding spot, there may be extra space between the floorboards, so that noise can drift in from above. Now that he mentions it, my own eyes spot gaps in the ceiling where the light is filtering through. Yeah, well, I'm assuming the killer must have heard the main character enter, and that's why he attacked. As Workaholic Detective said, it must be coming from the entrance hall above us. My question then is, why would the killer not just kill us? Regardless, the rooms are vertically adjoined. One could greatly reduce the time required to move between them by means of some gimmick. You could say tamper with the floor if the entrance hall, creating a gap wide enough for a person to slip through the basement ceiling. Workaholic's relentless reasoning leaves me overwhelmed. Even if there is a gap, there's no way someone my size could fit through it. Still, he's right about one thing. The entrance hall and the basement are awfully close together. How can I possibly clear my name now that we know it's possible to move between them? Aren't you jumping to some major conclusions here? It's not like you can prove it. There isn't a hole connecting the ceiling to the entrance. Your whole Probatio Diabolica bit is just bullying him into a corner. Like, talk about a total mood killer. Lady Downtown has the right of it. So long as any such gimmick remains hidden, your accusation is out of question. Perchance, by plasma knuckles capable of winning any bout, could make such a hole, but still, a punched-out hole wouldn't close back up anyway. First things first, is it even possible to dismember an adult male to this extent within 20 minutes? Also, second thing second, how did you get down a spiral staircase in your wheelchair? Even if the killer themselves is male, they would need an extremely deft hand at amputation to pull something off so difficult. Not like you need to skin him or bleed him out. Any hunter could do it. Well, it would have been a snap if I was the crook. So it's safe to assume you're the culprit then. I just bet I could is all. There'd be no time to deal with all that spurting blood anyhow. Actually, I'd say there was. Workaholic probably shares my thoughts on that. So you noticed as well. It's true. One could dismember a body in a short time span if they use those wires we encountered. As he speaks, Workaholic holds up a blood-drenched wire. Unpleasant as it is, I'm reminded of how easily Doleful Detective's leg was cut earlier. You mean someone used this wire on the senior detective? Yes, in fact, it's possible that Senior Detective was already wrapped up these wires when he got in contact with us. He may have done so under duress, after which the wires were pulled, slicing him into pieces. All that remains then is for the culprit to escape. I chanced on one of those wires again when I went to get the others. My foot happened to slip on it since it was coated in blood. Based on the amount of blood, it's clearly not the same wire you first encountered. The killer must have anticipated us getting past the wires in the passage and discarded it on the floor there. Or perhaps, the killer themselves set the traps in order to hide the murder weapon. Either way, we have no other recourse but to suspect incompetent for now. Speak up if you have any objections. I didn't do it! Shout on impulse. Regret fills me almost immediately. I'd say the same thing if I was guilty, as anybody would choose. I refuse to believe incompetent did it, but that's all the more reason for us to find out what really happened. Agreed. I don't want to accept that a fellow DA member could do such a thing, but as a detective, pursuing the truth is paramount. Workaholic fixes me with a steely look. I want to speak up, but I don't know what to say. I've reached my limits just processing all of these theories. There's no room for me to make my own deductions. Hold up! Ain't the idea of incompetent being the perp a bit too, I don't know, far-fetched? You ask me, we got the wrong guy here. You have evidence to support this. I'd like to know why you don't suspect incompetent. Call it a gut feeling. I'm usually dead on the money with these sort of things. That's downright scientifically impossible. We need to base our investigation on solid proof and logic. Back off, Poindexter. You looking for a fight? Okay, time out. No more fighting, guys. You're like seriously harshing my vibe. But that little punk was the one who started it. Look, it's not like the techie said he full-on suspects incompetent or whatever, am I right? Precisely. I simply believe it's too early to confirm or deny the hypothesis. We can't rule out either conclusion yet. The culprit could have fled, but they could also still be inside the building. Oh, sorry about that. I might have gotten a little ahead of myself there. Again. Workaholic detective claps his hands, interrupting the discussion. It appears we have a number of opinions. I'm going to the entrance hall to meet the chief. Let's investigate this individually after that.
つのだ。
Halt, Sir Workaholic. We have many a detective assembled here already.
我々は互いの手を
Ought
取り合
we
い
not
協
to
力して
join
事
forces
件
and
に臨
confront
むべ
this
きな
case
のではな
together?
いか。
だけど
Perhaps,
このわずかな
but
間でも
even in this
口論
short
が
amount
発
of
生している。
time, our conflicting opinions have already come to
今
light.
私たちは
Each of us seeks
そ
to
れぞれ
tackle
異
this
なる
case
結論に向か
through
って
a
捜査を
starkly
進
different
めようと
approach.
しているよね。
Collaborating in these conditions will work
協
against
力は
us.
同感ですね。
I concur. I'll proceed with my investigation in my own
僕は自分なりの方法で
way, calmly and scientifically.
なんだよその冷めた
What's
目は
that? What's with that
このさっき
glare?
発言を
You
非
got
難して
some
んのか
bone to pick with me or something?
悪かったって
I already apologized.
だけ
At
ど
the end of the
人間なん
day,
だから
I'm
よ
human. I'm
最後
gonna
は
get where I
感情を
need
重
to
視しち
be
まう
by
もんだ
following my
ろう
heart.
それでは探偵
That
失
alone
格だ
ought
と
to
思います。
disqualify you from this line of work.
だどこ
Like how it's
探偵は
all
忍者を
over
忘れ
once
た
a
ら終わり
detective
だろう
forgets
が
what it means to be human.
ああもう落ち着
My
きなって
god, just cool it already. I
すぐに頭に
literally
血を上
just
らせん
asked you
なっつう
not to
の
fly off the handle. Downtown Detective does her best to intervene as Rowdy shouts at Techie. Doleful stands beside three of them, flustered and directionless, as Armor and Workaholic continue their heated debate. Doesn't seem like the investigation is going to start anytime soon. Just like Workaholic Detective said, everyone's playing this by their own rules, so no one is taking the lead. Everyone? I want to suggest we all work together, but the words die in my throat. There's no way I could be so bold when I'm the prime suspect. I know that, and yet I feel like I need to say something. My fist clenches. Unlike me, each of the detectives here has their own talents and strengths. It's my incompetence that really drives home how amazing they are. But that's exactly why I need to speak up now.
口論なんて
Now's not the time for arguing, wouldn't you
してる
say?
場合じゃ
I chime in, but my voice comes out so softly that no one hears me. Together, these detectives could solve any case, but yet here they are arguing. That angers me far more than being a suspect.
僕は
I failed to save someone again, even though Senior Detective was so close by.
何もできずに見ているだけなんてそんなの
What's the point of being a detective if all I can do is sit around and watch things happen? My self-loathing mounts as I listen to them bicker amongst each other. My position in the situation doesn't matter. What happens to me isn't as important as getting the detectives to work as a team.
皆さん
Everyone, please listen!
聞いてください
The other detectives turn to face me. Naturally, they all look rather dubious. I falter for a moment, but desperately push on.
僕を疑っている
I
人
know a
は
lot of you suspect me. That's fine. There's a lot to suspect, and I
それで
understand
も
that.
いいですだから
But
一度
you can't you
皆さんで
all
協力し
at
て
least try to
事件を
cooperate?
協力か。
Cooperate. That's a
それ
tall
は
order.
難しいね。
Our personal modes of investigation are
我々はどう
hardly
にも
compatible.
うちも協力
I'm
には
always
賛
down for
成
a
だけど
collab, but
さ
you're kind of
戦争
asking
じ
the
ゃ
impossible
そ
right
もそ
now.
もの方
I
針
mean,
からして無能先
agree
輩
on
を
whether
容
or
疑者
not
と
you're
す
the
る
prime
かしないか
suspects.
だから
That's why I want
方針を
everyone to agree on
統一
what
してほしい
direction
ん
to
です
take.
方針を統一
Direction to take?
So-
That's right.
そう
Although I'm too tense to make a proper response, I force my voice out, trying to be bold as I give detectives my suggestion. Please proceed with your investigation under the assumption that I did
僕
it.
が犯人
You
だという
start there,
前提の
you'll
も
be
となら
less likely to have any more
今
arguments
みた
like
いな
this one,
口
right?
論も起きにくいでしょ
The detectives fall silent. Maybe telling them to suspect me was too brazen after all.
正気かよ
Is your head screwed on wrong or something?
せっかく俺たち
After
が
all the
擁護して
effort
やっ
we
てんの
spent
に
defending you,
自分
you
から
got the
疑
guts
わ
to
れてとか言い
ask
か
to
れてん
be
のか
suspected? Have you lost your goddamn marbles?
諦めずと
I
もいい
beseech
では
you
ないか
not to give up, sir incompetent.
No, no.
What has become of your resolve?
何も諦めていませんよ
I'm not giving up. It's not as if I
疑われるのは
want
嫌で
to
す
be the main suspect here,
でも
but it'd be even worse
僕の
if
推
the
理捜査が
investigation
滞
stalled
るの
out because
も
of
っ
me.
と嫌なん
I'm
です
staking my safety for your deductive reasoning. I raise my voice with all my strength, my trembling hands falling into
そ
fists.
んな僕自
I
身
trust all of you far more than my own incompetence. If you work together, I know the truth will come out. I'm sure
僕
you'll
が犯
prove
人
I
じゃない
didn't
こ
do
とを
it.
証明してくれるって
The detectives silently take my words. Not one of them speaks up. They all simply stare at me incredulous. I guess my suggestion was overstepping my bounds. I've only made them all even more distrustful of me. But I don't get it. I'd much rather have these outstanding detectives suspect me than continue arguing in vain.
我々なら君が
So
犯人
you
でないことを
insist that
証
because
明
we're on
し
the
てくれると
case,
信
we'll
じ
end up proving you aren't the
探偵
culprit?
冥利に
Such
尽
words
きる
make
言葉じゃ
one
ない
feel
か
blessed to
探偵諸
be a
君
detective. Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? I hear a cold, beautiful voice behind me. My breath catches as I turn around.
さて容疑者にここまで言われて
Just how
諸
should
君
we
らはどうする
respond when a suspect gives a statement
い
like
つま
that,
でも着地
continue
点
to
での討
argue,
論を
never
続
to
けるのか
find any common
速や
ground,
かに
or take
行動に
action
移る
swiftly
の
and
か
promptly? I eagerly await your answer even. Her hair is white as snow, the white-haired girl, if you will. Her gleaming eyes purple like hydrangeas. Who else did he describe like this? Her skin smooth with features like a porcelain doll. At our backs stands a far from ordinary girl. Wasn't it the girl in the flashback? The others are visibly thrown off by her arrival. It's clear that she stands out even among the prominent detectives. Chief, what are you doing here? I suspected that I would meet you at the entrance when you arrived. You truly believe I would wait idly by when my dear friend's senior detective had been murdered? Out of the question. I left our colleagues to themselves and went ahead of my own. The girl workaholic called Chief speaks without a hint of timidity. Footsteps sound out from the passageway. Evidently, the other detectives followed her lead, heading to this room. Never told you about this basement, did we? We figured it'd be better that way, so no one would get hurt inside the tunnel. I noticed an echo beneath my feet upon entering, so I placed my ear to the floor, and what should I hear but your voices? From there I deduced the general layout and discovered the secret path that had been left open. Hardly a mystery, really. The chief shares her amazing feats as though they were simply a matter of course. We worked so hard to find this underground room, and yet she found it merely by touching the floor. No wonder the others looked shocked. It was also open. Huh? I startle as the girl gives me a smile. Compared to how she treats the others, her gaze on me feels more personal. No, I'm probably mistaken. I must be. So you're the newcomer I've been hearing about. I am Ideal Detective. I lead the team working to stop the quartering Duke. Your spirited appeal earlier was admirable. I'm expecting much more of you, so keep at it and never hesitate to share your thoughts. Yeah, definitely a Nano character. I like this character a lot. I apologize for losing my composure just now. Once the other detectives arrive, I'll brief you all on the situation and give my impressions. Thank you, Workaholic. That would be much appreciated. But now, first, allow me to clear up a certain misconception you seem to be laboring under. Each and every member of the Quartering Duke investigation is a suspect. You, I, or any of us have the means to carry out this murder. What? Alright, so we are fast approaching Among Us time. So guys, I'm looking for an easy stop point, and I think this is going to be as good as we can get. However, I do think this was a very successful first session of this game, and I'm on board. I hope you guys also are liking it, and we will be playing more of it tomorrow evening. In light of that, we are going to set up our Among Us. So, it's time to spam message, play Danganronpa music, and kill each other. So, let's go ahead and update this. Definitely let me know initial thoughts and impressions, guys. Seems like a pretty neat game to me, so I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm gonna do Saturday night in Rompa. Now, when you guys hear this song, you know what it means. It means that the killing game is beginning anew. Alright. The time has come to kill each other. This is gonna take a little bit of reorganizing. Okay, that looks good. Miles Edgeworth costume. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I love it. How fun. Wait, what's in the shop right now? Oh, it costs paid currency. That's not... And it's only available for 58 days. Amongies, what are you doing? Alright, play, online, create game, Skeld for warm-up. Alright. Posting. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick, and then I'll spam invites. So join if you are watching and you would like to play. Okay. Hi, hello. Time to sit in the Amongies channel and send out some spammy invites. I know Chimazing is gonna be on the way. Okay. Sending out Moa. I'll be a good mod and keep an eye on chat. Thanks, Pat. I always appreciate that.
Commencing total extermination.
so we are currently spamming. And we will see what happens. And in the meantime, I think we're gonna kick back with a little salad. A little salad with balsamic? Delightful. Where did I put my fork? But yeah, super good session of that first visual novel. I see Storm made it. Lovely. Oh, I need to equip the new costumes. Oh, fun. This is just perfect. Come on in, Kisuan. Let us do battle tonight, as we always do. Sweet! I almost forgot about better cooling. Oh my god! We are totally gonna use this as a dinner break. While the Among Us assemble. Lobby will close in 30 seconds. That's not. I will post a new one, no worries.
Hello.
Why, hello there. I'm making a new lobby code because we're like still waiting. And it just closed out the previous lobby. Also don't forget about your better crew link.
Oh, I forgot about that. What do we do in Nutmeg?
Yarr.
Have the dog on my lap.
Cute.
Hey, Storm.
Hello.
Hey, Storm. Happy Saturday! While we assemble all the troops, I am doing like a dinner break. I know What's Amazing is supposed to be here. We will see about others. What were you guys doing, Grant?
Deadlock. Very fun.
What is that?
Steam's newest game. Or Valve's newest game. And it's very good. It's, here's a gift, mild but
New visual novel seems pretty neat. I'll have to give you the rundown later.
Can I join your game? What's the code?
What was that?
How do I join your game?
You gotta plug in the code I put in the Among Us channel.
Oh, it is easier. Oh, I forgot it. I forgot what my character looked like in this game.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's Ace Attorney costumes now, so I'm looking.
I like my humorous. I like my humorous crown.
Yeah. Your character is very, let's just say, busy.
I love it. There's nothing wrong with having a busy character.
And you have a pet, which actually makes it harder to get away with the murders.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god, wait, they have skins from freaking Critical Role? That's amazing.
Do they?
Yeah.
I don't believe it!
Artagan's hair. Chetney. This is a new, they must have just did this.
Yeah, I think they updated it recently because, like...
Sprinkle is fine. I love it.
There's a new Ace Attorney game that just came out on, like, Switch and Steam, so they added costumes for the character that focuses on, too.
Oh, I have to... This is so funny.
Yeah, I just bought that.
Look, don't worry, Sprinkle is fine. He's alive on my head.
Hey, what's up, STX? You've come to observe our killing. Well, we will see if there is a killing game. It seems like not a lot of people are popping up.
Oh, I like the Mollymawk carbs.
Oh no.
Oh my god, they added Mr. They added pate! Oh.
Oh my god, I can't believe they added that.
Yeah. I have pate.
Oh. Is that the companion?
So it's a rat skeleton that she uses as a marionette.
Here.
I'll use Mister. He's less crazy. He's
Oh, that's
a monkey
cute.
that throws flaming shit.
Got it. So if we see somebody running away from the scene with a companion with a burning tail,
Oh, there's Current's dress.
then we'll know.
Do you have these unlocked, by the way? Are they free for everyone? I don't know how it actually works.
No.
Yeah, I think
They're paid.
that Cosmic Cube is paid only, I think.
Which one?
Which means you've been whaling, Grant.
Oh no, I just have a script that unlocks everything every time I go on the game.
Huh? Grant.
I mean, yes, I bought
mean,
everything.
yes! Yes!
I don't have a script that does that. That would be cheating. And bad. Cheating is bad.
Good morning.
Chamazing?
Hello, it's amazing.
Hello. I'm back from my shower.
Hello, Chamazing. It's time to kill each other.
If we can get people.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Storm. Hi.
Saturday has been good.
Hello.
STX, I'm kind of feasting on my dinner right now.
Have you not played
So
with
sorry that
you?
I'm forcing like a mukbang stream.
I don't think I have.
Oh hey, nice to meet you.
Hello.
But today has been
Yeah, I
great.
think
We
you
played
missed
3
the last
games.
speech,
I don't know if that should be a good thing or a bad thing.
Oh, I'm not good, don't worry. It's fine.
Wait, if what's a good thing or a bad thing?
Oh, don't worry about it.
Where's E2? I haven't talked to E2 in forever.
I saw E2 in here.
I did send her a message, but I haven't back. I see. Aquatic might be activating because he was offline and now he's online.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
We can take a little more time so I can finish food. Ha 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 ha.
Oh no, that's fine. Don't worry about it, Penny.
We've been loving the playthrough of Danganronpa, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I can't believe you hadn't played it until now. When you first joined the server, your name was Kyoko, so I always thought you were a fan.
Yeah, my friends played it, and they said that I was Kyoko because I was very good at Among Us, and then my husband had Makoto, so we were like, boom, there we go, Kyoko and Makoto, and I'm like, I don't know who these characters are, but okay.
Okay, I see. Well,
Yeah,
all the
very
music...
obsessed with Danganronpa.
all the music that I spam while we play probably is taking on a whole new meaning to you.
Yeah. Like, I get it now, and I'm very happy to be in this community now. Like, I was already happy to be in this community, but then now it's like, oh, these people play Danganronpa as well. And then I realized, oh, they play a lot of Danganronpa.
Every time that there's a meeting and I say a body has been discovered, everybody knows.
It's your song that plays, like on loop, that, like, hits me the most.
The investigation song?
Yes.
Alright, making another lobby. Alright, if this one goes without us getting, like, at least 7, we're probably gonna have to call it. But
that's okay.
Let's... This will be the final straw.
Well, we can at least do a practice run so I can get Imposter and Murder Storm.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Maybe it's just not meant to be.
Did anyone do anything good with their Saturday?
Absolutely not.
Nope. That's about right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Storm, do I see that you and Malfagor are doing a Baldur's Gate co-op?
We are, yes.
My goodness.
They added some new endings to the game, so...
Oh, they did?
Nice.
Yeah. For evil routes.
Hi, Kason.
Hello. Yes, I think it's case 1 too.
It has been so long, Kason. I hope you're doing well.
Oh, thanks, amazing. I hope the same to you. Oh, sorry. Oh, excuse me.
Alright,
My
food.
dog's sleeping on me.
Please.
My little dog sleeping on me right now while I play.
What was that?
My dog's sleeping on my chest while I play.
Oh. She's a good girl. So wait, how many? That's 6. Alright, I am going to prepare a drink. If when I come back we're still chilling at 6, we might have to admit defeat for tonight. But, we'll see.
Okay.
I'll just go back to Deadlock.
Okay.
Gotta sabotage those Pazushis.
What? Hi Pengy's chat, I hope all of you are doing well. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
Oh my god, it's amazing. You can't even comment on Twitch.
Yes you can! I'm commenting it right now! Comment. Love you, tomatoes. Oh, thank you. Peggy, what are you doing?
Well, I'm just making a face, because it seems like the lobby's gonna be dead tonight.
Well, I saw Qatik. Oh, never mind. I saw him on his phone for a little bit. And then
Yeah, I thought the same thing, but he hasn't replied. It's not a good sign.
Frick.
Alright guys, well, I'll try to set aside some time for next week, and hopefully people plan ahead for it, since everyone's in different time zones and yada yada. But thank you guys for being here. I appreciate coming through to the call.
It was nice to see everyone again.
Yeah.
We'll try again next week, okay?
Yeah.
Alright. Night, everybody.
Night.
Good night.
We can't ban someone, yeah. Alright guys, well, we gave it the old college try as we always do. I will be live again tomorrow, with Ayuden Chronicle and more Process of Elimination. So I'll see you guys later. Everyone, thank you so much for being here and watching today. It was a really good stream. I will see you guys later.